about an hour and a half wait. Is that okay? I mean, do I have to sit here with them, or can I just leave him here? Considering he's like 3, you're not leaving him here. Why, you guys don't know how to handle a 3-year-old? Well, apparently you don't. You want to drop him off at a hair salon like we're some sort of daycare. You must be tripping if you think I'm going to sit here for an hour and a half. Just like you're tripping if you think that we're going to watch your son for you. So, do you both want to sit and wait the hour and a half, or are you going to go somewhere else? I mean, this is ridiculous. He just needs a kid's cut. How long could it possibly take? We are booked with other people. You are not the only person in the world. I mean, his haircut's going to be free, right, if we wait that long? Absolutely fucking not. It's not our fault. You could have made an appointment. It just doesn't make sense why I would have to sit here and wait for an hour and a half for my son to get a haircut and then still have to pay for it. That's, like, ridiculous. I mean, it would make sense for you to get the free haircut if you waited that long if you had an appointment, but you didn't. Now, did you? I can't stand these snobby-ass hair salons that want everybody to have appointments. I mean, it's bullshit. What happened to the good old days where you could just walk in and get your hair cut? It's not pronounced snobby, it's pronounced busy. So jot that down. Why would you let yourselves get busy enough to the point where walk-ins have to wait an hour and a half? Yeah, shame on me for being successful. I should have just made sure we never got busy enough so that you could always just walk in with your son whenever you damn well please and let us just suffer for it. Right, exactly. That's what you sign up for being a business owner. The customer's always right. Absolutely fucking not. Goodbye. Can we still wait the hour and a half? Nope. We got another purge video. Let's go. Okay, girl, I got all your colors mixed up, so we'll get you started. Thank you. I'm so excited to have fun hair. Yeah, this is gonna look awesome. Hey, ma'am, do you need something over there? No, it's fine. Just didn't realize I was gonna be sitting next to the circus. I'm sorry, the what? The circus. I mean, shouldn't she be embarrassed, her hair looking like that? Shouldn't you be embarrassed, sitting over here judging people for their hair colors? Well, all I'm saying is no man will ever respect her looking like that. Okay, who put you here? Whose client are you? Oh, you know what? It doesn't matter. I'm gonna have you move to the other side. Why? Because you're not gonna sit here and make my client uncomfortable about the colors that she wanted to put in her own hair. Well, it affects everybody else in the salon who has to sit and look at it. And you're affecting everybody in the salon that has to sit here and listen to you. Look, it is like you young women don't want the respect from men anymore. It's hair color. Well, I would never do that to my hair because I have some sense. And I would never act like you, specifically not in public, because I'm not a bitch. Oh, excuse me? You have 2 options. You can move to the other side or you can leave the salon. Pick. Hey there, just so you're aware, it's customer service industry purge day, so I can match your energy and sing anything I need to. Yeah, okay. My daughter here is going to prom. She needs help too. Unfortunately, we are completely booked out today, so we're not going to have time to fit her in. What? No. This is prom we're talking about. This is the most important day of my life. Well, her life. I'm so sorry, but yeah, no, unfortunately, we don't have any more openings today. We've been booked up for today for like weeks now, so absolutely not. You are going to take her. Do you understand how important this is? With all due respect, ma'am, it's prom. This is my little girl we're talking about, and you are going to take her. You are not telling me what the fuck to do. We do not have openings. Well, where the fuck did they all go? To other people. What's that lady doing over there? She's sitting there with color on her head. She's not even going to prom. No, she pre-books her appointments every 6 weeks. She's here for her color. You let people just take up all the available spots for colors and haircuts and all that stuff on the day of prom? You are done yelling at me. I am not listening to another word that comes out of your mouth unless you pipe the fuck down. This is ridiculous. I mean, this is prom we're talking about. Was prom night when you peaked or something? What? It's freaking prom. You know what? Fine. We'll just find another salon. We'll give someone else our money to do her hair for the most important day of her life. Good riddance. Hey there, just so you're aware, it's customer service industry purge day, so I can match your energy and sing anything I need to. Alright girl, what are we doing today? So I found this picture on your page that I really like. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, so that is quite a bit lighter than what you are now, so we'll go ahead and get a test strand going. Okay. Alright, my friend, your test strand did show me that you have a lot of banding going on. You've got a lot of previous color. Doesn't really look like your hair is going to be able to handle getting to that color today. Oh, do you have a plan B? I don't. If I'm being honest, that's really the only thing that I would like to leave with. Okay, as much as I would love to do that hair color on you today, unfortunately, I don't think your hair is going to do it. I would love to run you through your options of kind of what we could do this session and work our way to that photo in the course of maybe the next few months through a few sessions. Okay, well, what would I be leaving with today? Well, because your hair's a little bit compromised and it is pretty dark, I'd say we could get you to like a medium brown today, maybe some sort of like a copper. Oh, no, I don't like that. Okay, well, I mean, our other option is we could just kind of stick with the same realm that you have now and touch up your roots. Well, no, I really wanted like a transformation. Okay, well, because your test strand didn't lift very well and you don't really seem to have a plan B in mind and you're not really willing to be flexible, I really don't think it's a good idea for us to go ahead with the service today. But I want my hair done. I mean, I would appreciate it if you would at least try to get to that photo. I know that if I went back there and mixed up some color and tried, I'd be thinking the entire time I'm doing your hair that you're going to be unhappy with whatever you leave with today, because it's not going to look anything like that photo, and you don't seem to be willing to accept the in-between phases of getting to that photo through sessions. But maybe if we just try, I will get to that photo today. I don't think so. We already did a test strand and it showed tons of banding, tons of previous color, and your ends are pretty compromised, so I just don't think it's in the cards for you today. But I think it's super important for hairdressers to be honest with their clients about when things just aren't going to work out, and the client is probably not going to be happy with anything that they end up with that day. Well, yeah, this is me being open and honest with you and letting you know that nothing I do today is going to make you happy, because you only want that photo and you are not going to get anywhere near that photo. Well, let me ask you this. If I go back there and I mix up some lightener and I put it on your head and I try my hardest to get you to where you want to be today, but because it's not possible and you don't get there and you leave with something you absolutely do not want at all, how upset are you going to be that you spent money on that? I mean, very. Then take my word for it and understand that nothing that you leave here with today is going to make you happy. Hey guys, what can I help you with? Hi, Teresa, this is my daughter Ashley. You did her hair a couple months ago. I remember. How are you guys doing? We're doing okay. I'm just a little bit confused. Her purple only lasted a couple months. Yeah, Vivids typically tend to last about 8 to 10 washes. Okay, see, I'm just confused because my color doesn't fade like that. I've been getting my hair colored for a really long time, and it's never just washed out after 2 months. Okay, so, it does look like you have highlights. Yes, and obviously I have roots. I haven't gotten my hair done in 6 months, but my highlights are very much still there. Yeah, so highlights are typically done with lightener, and what lightener does is it removes color from the hair. It doesn't deposit color, and that means that highlights themselves don't fade because it's the absence of color in the hair. Okay, notice how the blonde underneath Ashley's purple is still there because that was done with lightener, so that removed color from the hair. The purple was a color deposit, which rinses out as she washes her hair. Oh, so highlights don't like rinse out of the hair. No, the highlights themselves don't, but the toner will, and that's why highlights start to get yellow after a while. So why does the toner rinse out but not the highlights? Because like I said, the highlights are done with lightener, which removes pigment from the hair, and the toner distributes pigment into the hair after it's lightened. Okay, so where you put lightener on the hair doesn't fade, but any color that goes over top of that will. Correct. Wow, okay, that makes sense. I just think your content sets unrealistic expectations for new stylists. May I ask why? Posting all of these vivid colors online and calling yourself a vivid specialist is inherently harmful. Because there's no such thing as a vivid specialist. There very much is. There's not. Not enough people get vivids for somebody to build a career off it. Calling yourself a vivid specialist implies that you do vivids every day, which you don't. Nobody does. I actually do. No, you don't. There wouldn't even be enough people in your surrounding area to get Vivid to fill your books with them. Oh, well, I still do a lot of natural clients too, but I do still do Vivids every single day. Yeah, I know that's what you want people to think online, and now all these people are going to beauty school because they're watching you do this, and they're going to learn real quick that it's not possible to build their books on Vivids and and then they're not even going to want to do hair anymore. Or they'll learn that it's absolutely possible to build their books on Vivids, and they'll be very happy. Okay, so let's say for a second I did believe that you do Vivids every day. You have 6 million followers on social media. And so it's easier for you to get people in your chair. It's easy for you to paint this pretty picture online that you do Vivids every day, and then people want to come to you for their Vivids. Okay, but I already did Vivids every day before I was ever even popular on social media. Oh, yeah, right. I did. Building a Vivid clientele is all based on strategy. You even said it yourself. Painting this picture online, making sure that you're attracting the type of client that you want in your chair. AKA lying on the internet. No, not at all. When I was still building my clientele, I did everything that I could to have Vivids to post. I would buy mannequins and color them. I would take models and do people's hair totally free of charge, just so I had Vivids to post. Okay. I knew that I wanted to specialize in color in general, so basically anything that I wanted to do, any technique I wanted to try out, I made sure I was able to try it, and I made sure that I posted it. And eventually it just attracted people, okay? I mean, I guess that's something everybody could do. Yeah, and I mean, I'll admit it's a little harder to build a Vivid clientele than it is a natural clientele, but it's not impossible. Just not. Oh, wow. What a pretty purple. Oh, thank you. It's such a shame. What's a shame? That this younger generation just doesn't care about the health of their hair anymore. You know, my generation took a lot of pride in that. I just don't understand why anybody would want to fry their hair with those crazy colors.
Inappropriate.
So with all due respect, Mary Sue, you're getting a perm right now. Exactly. I've been getting perms for 50 years now.
Well,
yeah,
you know what?
yeah, I can definitely tell.
I don't know. Let me do it, and then we'll decide.
My hair. I don't need all of these crazy colors done to fry my hair off and make it feel like straw. So you get just about the most damaging thing done that you could possibly get done. What? Sweetheart, I've been getting perms since before you were alive. They are not damaging. Other than relaxers, perms are the most damaging chemical service that you can get done to your hair. What? Then how have I been getting them for so long? Well, that's why your hair is so gummy and sticky and stretchy when it's wet. Well, that's just what happens when you get perms for a while. That's a normal thing. That's actually the damage that perms cause. Everybody that gets perms gets that if they've been getting them for long enough. And gummy, stretchy hair when it's wet is the most telltale sign of chemical damage. That's not true. It's true. I mean, there's a reason why your hair doesn't feel the same after you start getting perms. You know, I thought that was just something normal that happened with perms. Yeah, chemical damage.
Alright, I need your opinion before I go any further with this. Is this like borderline?
She's getting a conditioner-based semi-permanent color with a pH of about 4.5. You're getting an alkaline perm with a pH of about 9.5. I don't understand what that means. Hair is naturally acidic and the pH is usually between 4.5 and 5.5. So when using alkaline products that raise the pH, those tend to be the more damaging things to do. And she wasn't even lightened today, so what she has in her head right now is the equivalent of conditioner.
Being that I have 11,000 followers, I don't want somebody starting something that's is that supposed to be?
Wow.
Like, here's the pride flag I was doing.
That the generation that judges other people for getting Vivids and calls it too damaging is the generation that got perms. I wish I could do those fun colors that you do. You know, the ones that are like totally rainbow.
Okay, my wife said it would be fine.
I mean,
so I'm gonna trust her judgment.
Get a color done and have it look super cool for like 1 or 2 washes, and then everything just bleeds together and makes like a weird, ugly brownish, greenish color. Like, it's just not worth it. Is there a reason you think that would happen? Well, everybody knows that's what happens. And I mean, I had a friend in high school who did her own this one time, and it looked so cool when she first did it, and then like after a couple days, her hair was just this like ugly brown color. Well, actually, if I were to do that for you and you practice the correct aftercare, that should not happen. What? I thought that was inevitable. No, there's tons of different ways to prevent that, starting out with the color line that is used. And the color line that I use doesn't tend to bleed into itself. Oh. I didn't know the color line mattered. I thought all of those funky colors were all just the same. Definitely not. Some brands bleed a lot worse than other brands. And the one that I personally use doesn't really bleed at all. Oh. Yeah, so, I mean, as long as you wash with cold water and use a good color-safe shampoo and conditioner, your color should stay vibrant for quite a while. So then what is it going to look like when it fades? With the proper aftercare, it should just fade to a lighter version of itself until it's just officially gone. Oh, so it doesn't turn into like a muddy greenish-brownish color? No, it shouldn't do that. Huh, well, good to know. I mean, maybe I will do something like that then. I'm so tired of hairdressers thinking that they're doctors. Like, you do not need to charge people that much money. Okay, well, besides the fact that it literally costs hairdressers an insane amount of money to even work these days, no one's forcing you to get these big expensive services done. I understand that, but last time I went and got a consultation, I was literally charged like $1,500. Okay, and what were you looking to get done? I just want to go blonde. Is that it? Well, and extensions. Okay, I mean, there are some extension brands where just one pack of hair costs like $1,500. And that's insane. It's a pretty penny, but unfortunately there's not really anything that hairdressers can do about the manufacturer's price of hair extensions. Yeah, I mean, I get that. She told me that the manufacturer's price for the extensions was $1,000 and she wasn't upcharging me. So where the hell does the other $500 come from? The installation of the extensions and the blocking service that you were looking to get done? Okay, $500 is still insane. Okay, but you were looking for a very luxury service. Okay, and because it's a luxury service, they get to just price gouge? Well, no, but if you decide to book a very luxury, time-consuming service with a stylist, they could very easily just refuse to take you and instead take 5 other people who pay $100 each for smaller services, and they would probably even make more tips that way. So by taking you, they have to be able to make up for the time that they could have taken other people. How is that fair to me? Because you're the one that's asking for the very time-consuming luxury service. Okay, but like, I need my hair done. Like, I don't understand why it's considered a luxury service, as if I can just not get my hair done. That statement's a little bit out of touch. You could definitely go without getting your hair done. I understand why people don't want to, and that's why there are services that cost so much less. You don't have to get something huge done every time you get your hair done. Okay, like, give me an example. For example, there are people that go to hairdressers and all they get done is just all over colors, root touch-ups, small highlights, things like that. Okay, lots of salons and lots of stylists offer way smaller services for way lower prices. Like for example, I offer mini highlights, and a lot of my highlight and balayage clients like to get that done in place of their actual balayage, just kind of touch it up and refresh it really quick. It takes like no time and only costs $45. Wait, really? Yeah, I mean, the clients that are paying a crazy amount of money every single time they come in are the clients that are getting luxury services done every single time they come in. And you don't have to. No, you can literally get a balayage done and they get mini highlights in between for the next 3 times until you get your balayage refreshed again, so you're not paying a balayage price every single time you're in the chair. Oh, yeah, the thing is, we're stuck in this loop right now where people feel like they need to change their hair color every single time they go to a salon instead of upkeeping what they already have and having it for a while. And it's more expensive to change your hair every single time. Exactly, way more expensive, and no one's forcing you to get a different color every single time you get your hair done. You can totally stick with the same thing for years if you wanted to. Wow. I mean, but what about those Vivid clients? A lot of the time, the Vivid clients have the easiest time changing their hair color every time, actually. A lot of them don't even need to be lightened every single time, as long as they fade well enough. Really? Oh yeah. I mean, my oil slick clients literally just get the full oil slick once, and then every time after that to maintain it, it's just an all over color. Really? Yeah, pretty easy and not too expensive. Wow. Okay, well, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, there's always smaller services that you could get done, and sometimes those smaller services can pack just as big of a punch. You don't need to get a full foil. So I found this picture on your page that I really like. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, so that is more than static core in this try. Well, it's probably about a dysfunctional individual. The branding more that sits here today, having the jet remorse, is overwhelming. I know he would like to address the point.
Thank you, Ron. I'd like to apologize probably done for the defendant to apologize. I'm apologizing because I'm genuinely remorseful for what I did. Nobody should have. Somebody should have to feel the pain the young lady felt that night. I was lost. I was truly a boy. Acting as a man. I didn't appreciate life. I didn't appreciate my victims and their families and what they would go through. I didn't appreciate what my own family would go through. I didn't appreciate anything. Once I was incarcerated, I began to understand the real pain I had caused. Prison saved my life, honestly. I just want to apologize.
Thank you.
I feel like in this case, we have a duty to make sure no one else will have to fall victim to him.
This was a horrible crime that deserves the maximum punishment. The state recognizes that this court can no longer impose the maximum sentence simply by the fact that the defendant was a juvenile at the time. But that sentence must still adequately account for the seriousness and the brutality of his conduct that night. The state has recommended an 82-year prison term.
I would ask the court to impose a 25-year sentence with credit for time served.
Let the record reflect the defendant was present at the state in court for a resentencing hearing. Court has considered the record, the oral statements made, the victim statement, and any other information that was available to the court before imposing the sentence. Court finds the defendant was convicted by a jury of 3 counts of aggravated robbery, 3 counts of rape, 1 count of kidnapping, and 1 count of aggravated menacing. On the rape charges, the defendant should be sentenced to 10 years on each count. On the kidnapping charge, the defendant should be sentenced to 8 years. On the aggravated menacing, the defendant sentenced to 6 months for concurrent. On the aggravated robbery charge, the defendant should be sentenced to 8 years on each count. All these sentences run consecutive to the 4 firearm specifications. So it's a total
the ones that are like, I'm so tired of hairdressers. I think hairdressers that fire clients are just stuck up. You think they're stuck up? Yeah, they think they're so important, and they don't care that these clients are literally paying their bills. Like, and they think they can just be picky and like not let people come back to them. Like, these people are coming to you to pay you money for services. Okay, fair enough. But have you ever heard the phrase, not all money is good money? That doesn't make any sense. Why become a hairdresser if you're not going to take everyone? Well, yeah, but just because somebody's paying money doesn't mean that the stylist should have to go to their job and just feel totally miserable. And boo-hoo. Just because a client wants their hair done a certain way doesn't mean that they're being disrespectful. Well, yeah, but one time I had a hairdresser fire me, all because I was upset that she didn't do my hair right. Okay, all I wanted was a blonde with no warmth. What did she give me? A warm blonde. Then when I went to get it fixed, it looked even darker. Did the hairdresser tell you you probably wouldn't get to your goal in 1 session? Well, yeah, but they all say that. Everybody says that. Yeah, she probably said that for a reason. Yeah, well, maybe if she would have explained it a different way, I would have understood. Maybe you guys just weren't compatible with each other. Maybe you just didn't have good communication together. Not every stylist and client duo is a good match. Ew, that's exactly what she told me. She was like, I just don't think it's working out between us, and I think you would be happier with someone else, and I just don't think we're compatible. Maybe that was the case. Maybe she just really felt like she couldn't get through to you and that you couldn't get through to her, and the things that you guys were talking about with each other just weren't resonating. Oh, so that's just all my fault, so I have to be fired. No, but for the same reason you wouldn't go back to a hairdresser can also say that they don't want to do your hair anymore. Sometimes it's just not a good fit, and that's okay. But a hairdresser firing me makes me feel like they just think it's all my fault. No, not necessarily. I mean, sometimes you really just aren't compatible with another person. That's totally normal. No, I mean, I guess. Would you have gone back to that stylist if she didn't fire you? No, probably not. I probably would have looked for someone else. See? So the feeling was mutual. You guys just weren't a good match. It doesn't mean there's any animosity there. Okay. That makes me feel a little bit better.
That was my job.
It's oily so freaking fast and I don't know what to do. Do you use dry shampoo at all? No, it just makes my hair crunchy and sticky and gross, and I just don't like the feel of it. Sounds like you just need a good dry shampoo. Trust me, I have scoured the aisles of Target, and I have picked up every single dry shampoo that they even carry, and I hate them all. Have you looked anywhere other than Target? No. What brands do you recommend? My top 3 brands for dry shampoo are Beach Waver, Olaplex, and Amica.
The sex offenders.
Okay. The brand of dry shampoo that you're using seriously makes all the difference. Oh, I didn't know that. I thought dry shampoo was just dry shampoo. No. Okay, so even with these good dry shampoos, can you still use them incorrectly? Yeah, you can. So how should you use it? So the best way to use dry shampoo is to actually use it before your hair gets oily. Wait, really? Yep, because if you use it in small amounts, just lightly throughout your hair before it gets oily, you don't need as much, so you don't really end up with that, like, gross feeling. Oh, yep, the best way to use it is before your hair gets oily, to use it very lightly at your roots, spraying from about a half of an arm's length away. You don't want to spray too close to the scalp, and then leave it for about 10 minutes before you rub it in. Oh, yeah, I mean, I usually just like spray it right up at my roots and then rub it in, and it just feels gross. And yeah, when you use it after your hair's already oily, you're a lot more likely to use too much of it, and then you're going to feel a lot more of it in your hair. Okay. Good dry shampoos like the ones that I listed leave so much less of a residue anyway. Okay, wow. I guess I've just been using dry shampoo wrong, and I've been using all the wrong dry shampoos. That's a lot of people. All right, girl, what's the plan today? Okay, so I have all of these different photos. Oh my God, I love every single one. They're so pretty. Yeah, those are all gorgeous. Wow, you have a lot of options. I know, right? I'm obsessed with them all. So it seems like you have a little bit of everything. I'm seeing some red, I'm seeing some blue, I'm seeing some orange, I'm seeing some purple. Even some brunette, some blonde, I mean warm blondes, cool blondes, platinum blondes. You even have a couple that are black, jet black. I know, right? So it seems like you're open to a lot of different things, everything actually, which is great because that means we can definitely figure something out within your budget, since you are so open to so many different things. Awesome, that's exactly what I wanted to hear. Yeah, so my budget's around $450. Wow, okay, awesome. So do you want me to tell you kind of what our best options would be? Oh, well, like I already showed you what I wanted. Yeah, you showed me so many options. So do you have one in particular that you like the most out of all of those photos? Well, no, I mean, I want all of these. You want all of them? Well, yeah, I mean, I want all of those, like, together. Okay, I mean, you pretty much showed me everything. I mean, red, pink, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, blonde, brunette, totally black, platinum. I mean, everything was in there. Yeah. I mean, can we do everything? I mean, you know, I could come up with ways to like really incorporate a lot of different things into it, but I mean, I'll be honest, I mean, you have some cool tone blondes, you have some silvers, and then you have some really warm blondes, like almost gold. You have jet black, and then you have cool brunettes, and you have warm brunettes, and you have some that are balayage, some with shadow roots, some that are solid. I mean, you have some that are totally rainbow, you have some that are a solid color. I mean, you really have everything going on in there. So like, let's try to gravitate towards what you might want more out of all of those. I mean, I don't really want to have to pick, I want all of them. Okay, let's try this. Let's start with your head in sections. So the top section right here at the root, what do you want to see at the root? Do you want your root to be darker than everything else? Do you want it to be solid? What do you want to see up there at the top out of all of these photos? Yeah, all of those that you just said. Okay, I mean, you have some that are like big chunky highlights. You have some that are shadow roots. I mean, what do you want? What do you want your roots to look like? Out of all of these photos, what is your favorite at the very root? All of them. Okay, we can't do like all of them. Why? Well, some of them have shadow roots, some of them don't. Some of them are chunky highlights, some of them are really fine highlights, some of them are solid. Like I said, they're all totally, entirely different photos. So like, is there anything that, like, what do you want to see? I just want all of them. Okay. So my last stylist told me to not use purple shampoo. Alright girl, what's the plan? So my last stylist told me to not use purple shampoo because my hair is brunette. But like, my sister gave me leftover of her purple shampoo and like, I didn't want to waste it. Okay, I mean, it's not gonna like hurt you, but I wouldn't use it every time though. So will it hurt me if I do use it every time? Because now I've been afraid to touch it at all. Purple shampoo can be super drying, so it's not really good for anybody to use it every time, even blondes. Oh, but if you actually do feel like you ever need the toning effects of a purple shampoo, since you're brunette, you would use blue shampoo. Oh, wait, why is that? Well, because purple combats yellow and blue combats orange. Oh, if your brunette started to look too warm, it would look more orange, which is why blue shampoo is what you would use in that scenario. But I still don't recommend using blue shampoo every single time because just like purple shampoo, they're both very drying. So should I not use the shampoo that my sister gave me? I mean, if you really don't want to waste it, you can go ahead and use it. Like I said, I just wouldn't use it every single time because it can dry out your hair pretty bad. Okay, but maybe just use it like a couple times a month just so I can like finish off the bottle. Yeah, I mean, that shouldn't hurt anything. It's not really gonna like affect your hair color-wise to use purple, but yeah, I mean, like I said, it could dry it out. Just use it sparingly. Teresa, thank God you're here. This shampoo that you sold me is just horrible. Oh, hey, Tara. I'm so sorry to hear that. This is like my favorite dry shampoo. Yeah, well, it does not work for me. Oh, that's no good. Do you want to exchange it for a different one? Do you have other ones? We do, yeah. We have a bunch of brands. This is another one that I really like, and we have it on back bar, so if you want to go ahead and try that. Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, I think that does the same thing as the other one. Okay, what are they doing that you're not a fan of? It kind of just like sprays a powdery substance in my hair. Yeah, that's what they're meant to do. They like soak up the oils. That's fine, but I mean, it's been a few weeks and it's just like caking up on my hair. Oh, well, how long has it been since you washed your hair? Oh, well, I did it this morning. Okay, what are you washing it with? With the shampoo that you gave me that I'm returning. The dry shampoo? Yeah, the dry shampoo. Alright, well, when's the last time you actually washed it? What do you mean, actually washed it? This is washing it, right? It's called dry shampoo. It's not washing it, no. Dry shampoo is meant to be just like a temporary to get you by until the next time you wash it. So then what's the point of having it if I still have to wash my hair? Like I said, it just kind of gets you by until the next time you wash it. So like, you know, you can use that in between washes. Well, I already gave my sister all of my shampoos. What? Well, I told my sister you sold me that stuff. And so I didn't need shampoo anymore because I only used whatever that was. Yeah, you know, dry shampoo isn't supposed to be like a replacement for washing your hair like indefinitely. So that's why my hair hasn't felt clean in 3 weeks. That would be why. Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. Styling it at all? Yeah, I was thinking today we could do a blowout like this. Okay, just so you know, your hair's not gonna look exactly like that photo. Why? You don't know how to do this? I do know how to do that, but she has super thick, coarse hair with tons of layers, and you have thinner hair, definitely very straight and fine, and it's super long, and you don't have any layers in it at all. So it's not gonna look like that. What? My hair's even longer than hers. I mean, so it should work better, right? No, see all of those like big waves in front of her face? Those are all actually layers. She has face framing in the front and quite a bit of it. Looks like she has a lot of layers and a lot of hair, and it's coarse and it's thick, and it's kind of the opposite of yours. So yours is not quite gonna do that. Are you saying that I have bad hair? No, you absolutely don't have bad hair. I love your hair. I love doing your hair. But like, you just don't necessarily have the hair that's gonna work great for like those big voluminous blowouts, you know? Okay, so I guess I can't get it curled either. Oh, well, we can curl it if you want. I mean, we could do the blowout too. It's just not gonna look exactly like that photo. I just wanted to give you a heads up so you don't like look in the mirror afterwards and be like, okay, but why doesn't it look like that? I have a feeling that you're just doing this because you don't know how to do a blowout. I do blowouts every day, but they definitely look different on everybody depending on the hair type. I just don't know why I have all of this breakage in the middle. Like, where does it even come from? Well, seeing how this breakage looks, I have to ask, do you put your hair up when it's wet? Well, yeah, because I shower at night and then I just want to go to bed, so I just like put it up in a bun and go to sleep while it's wet. Yeah, that's probably what this breakage is coming from. What? Why? It's never a good idea to put your hair up when it's wet, and you also shouldn't sleep with wet hair. Wait, why can't you put it up when it's wet? That doesn't make sense. When your hair's wet, all that water in there expands the hair, and it's actually the most fragile when it's wet. So you're more susceptible to breakage when you put your hair up while it's wet. Oh, wow, I did not know that. Yeah, it's not good to sleep with your hair wet, put your hair up when it's wet, and it's not really good to sleep with your hair up either. So, I mean, I would try to stop doing all of that if you can. Wow, okay, so I'm just like doing everything wrong at once. You definitely do risk yourself to a lot of breakage when you do those three things, especially all together. Wow, so how do you recommend me sleeping? Definitely with dry hair, and if your hair being around you bothers you when you sleep, I would definitely recommend either a bonnet or just putting it in a low pony with a silk scrunchie. Okay, yeah, and that'll stop me from getting any more of this breakage? Yeah, it should. Alright, you ready to get started? Yes, so here's my issue with stylists. I show them a photo that I find on their socials, and my hair still doesn't look like the picture. Do you think you can actually get me to this picture? Well, that's a little easier said than done. Exactly. That is my problem with hairdressers. Well, they always only put in effort when it's someone that they know, or one of their favorite clients, someone who's got a lot of followers, but just the average Joe that comes and sits in their chair, they don't put any effort in at all to make it look like the picture. So that might be true for some stylists. I'm not going to say that there's none out there that do that, but I do have to say a really common issue is that a lot of clients just don't understand that their hair is different than the person in the photo. What do you mean? Well, in the photo that you brought me, this person has really thick, coarse hair, and you have very fine, thin hair. So you're not going to see as much dimension as she has in her hair because you don't have as much of it. But see, that doesn't make any sense because with my hair, seeing that it's thinner, you would just take smaller sections to get just as much dimension, just on less hair. Well, not necessarily. If I take really fine little sections, those pieces of dimension are just going to get lost within the rest of your hair anyway. Okay, but then if I take bigger sections, you're going to be able to see them a little bit more. There's just not going to be as many dimensional pieces in there. Okay, that's the thing. You're showing me this photo of someone who has a ton of hair. It's not going to look the same on you, who has very different hair than her. I mean, it's not that I'm putting in less effort. You just don't have the same hair. See, that's another thing. Stylists always just blame the client or blame their hair. They never take accountability for the fact that they just don't know how to replicate it again. Girl, I do that technique 5 times a week. Trust me, I know how to replicate it. But it's not going to look the same on everybody. Hair color is not one size fits all.
There's an idea that
When you put it that way, there's no other way to put it. Hair color just is not one size fits all. I can put the same formula on 5 different people and it look different on all 5. Everybody has different hair. You ready to get started? Yes. So here's my issue with stylists. I show them a photo that So I have a question I've always wanted to ask you. So I've noticed that in your videos, you don't really put a whole lot of effort into blow drying people. You kind of just dry them. Yeah, well, a lot of the time. Don't take this the wrong way or anything, but isn't that kind of lazy? Like, shouldn't you be giving everyone a really nice blowout, considering they're paying money for their hair? Well, to be honest, most of my clients want beach waves or curls. Right, but like, shouldn't you be giving them a full blowout beforehand? I mean, if someone has super coarse hair that's very susceptible to frizz, then I do, but not everybody needs that, and it's kind of redundant to do a full blowout and then just curl over top of it. I mean, that's just adding damage to the hair that I don't need to. But aren't you doing more damage with the curling iron? Not necessarily, no. I mean, blow dryers cause a ton of damage. They have to go over that same piece of hair way more times than a curling iron does. A curling iron, you can curl a piece of hair in one pass. A blow dryer is not that simple. You need a lot of passes, and they get just as hot. Oh. Well, yeah, I mean, I never really thought of that. Also, I have to say that most clients don't really care what I'm doing to get them to their end result, as long as they get to their end result. Yeah, but I mean, like, if someone's paying, shouldn't they get, like, a nice blowout? Like, shouldn't you really spend time and not just rough dry them real quick before curling them? If it's not going to change the result of the curls, then there's no point in doing that. It's just adding extra damage. So, I mean, when do you do that? Well, for example, my curly hair clients, if they want beach waves, typically I'll blow them out and smooth them out first before doing that, so that way their natural curl doesn't get in the way. Okay? But if somebody has straight or wavy hair and their hair pattern isn't going to get in the way of me doing beach waves on them, then a rough dry is really all that they need. It doesn't really make sense to do all of that extra work and add all of that extra damage just for nothing. Alright, you can come on over, we'll get you dried, and then we'll go put your pivots on. I just have a couple questions. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be this person, I'm just a little concerned. Sure, what's up? So, one of my friends is a hairstylist, and she told me that, like, one of the biggest mistakes that stylists make is that they don't leave the toner on long enough, and you literally left that toner on me for, like, a minute. Oh, well, I just used it as a pre-toner. I wasn't necessarily toning you, I was just kind of color shifting you. It's not the final process. We're gonna still put the pivots over it, so I didn't need to leave anything on for 25 minutes. Oh, okay. I mean, my friend just said that if a stylist ever only leaves a toner on for, like, a couple minutes, it means that they're rushed and they're just trying to get you out. No. No, actually, your hair was blue and we're gonna do green, so I just applied yellow over top of it, just to pre-tone it really quick and get it kind of green already. That's all I needed to do. It wasn't really anything that I needed to leave on. Okay. I don't know. I'm still just a little bit nervous. I mean, I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't be doing this. My friend has just been doing hair for a really long time. Well, it sounds like if your friend is the only one that you trust, you should probably be going to her. Well, I used to, but then when I wanted to start getting vivids, she doesn't really know how to do vivids very much. It's just not something that she does, so that's why I started coming to you, because I really like your work. Okay, so that would probably mean that I know what I'm doing, right? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll finish your hair, I'll spin you around, let you look in the mirror. If it looks like crap, we'll talk about it then. Okay. Sorry, $300? That is insane. That's about what it would come to for everything you want done to your hair. It's crazy. I mean, back in the day, I used to be able to just go get a partial highlight for like $40. Yeah, prices have gone up. And also what you're asking for is not a partial highlight. What do you mean? I just want that blonde that I saw on your social media. Exactly. And to get you to the blonde that you saw on my socials, I would need to do at least a full baby light, tipping out those dropouts, and then do a full melted shadow root and toner after that. I mean, it would be a process. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, I literally used to be able to go spend like $50 on my hair. Yeah, I mean, times have changed and prices have gone up, but I do have to say that the main reason that hair is more expensive now than it ever used to be is because people get a lot more in-depth services on their hair than they used to do back in 2003. No, I'm going to stop you right there. That is not true. I used to get foils put in my hair back in 2003 the same way you guys do foils now. Okay, but back in 2003 you used to get, what, 20, 30 foils, and now you're asking for close to 200 to get as solid blonde as possible. I mean, that's a totally different story. Listen, I understand that inflation is a thing, but prices did not need to go up this much more. Well, if you want to pay 2003 prices, I can do a 2003 color on you. And what would that entail? Just a basic, chunky partial highlight, no added blending, and maybe even no toner. And, I mean, that's not going to make my hair look the way it did in 2003, right? It would. No, colors look so much better now. Why would I want to look like that? Oh, colors look so much better now. Did it ever occur to you that there's a reason why? Well, in 2003, I had these god-awful yellow stripy highlights. That is not what I'm looking for right now. I mean, you don't see anybody walking around with that anymore. Right, exactly. I just don't understand why I can't pay $50 to get the photo that I showed you. Because you're not gonna get a long, in-depth 2023 color service on a 2003 budget. I just don't get it. Well, the color services that stylists do these days are a lot more in-depth, especially the blonding services. Okay? it's a lot more meticulous, it takes a lot longer, and there's a lot more detail work that goes into it all. And that's part of the reason why it's so much more expensive now than it was back then. Because I could do it cheaper for you, and I could just do untoned, stripy yellow highlights, but that's not what people are asking for these days. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, people aren't just asking for basic untoned partial highlights. Everyone brings in a photo, and everybody wants a big transformation these days, and big transformations come with a price. Sorry. Alright, now that we're done with your color, are we cutting it today? Oh no, I don't need to get haircuts anymore. You don't need to get haircuts anymore? Yeah, no, I bought one of those split end trimmers from the TikTok shop. Oh. Yeah, so I mean that just takes care of my split ends now. I just run it over my hair once a week and that's all I have to do. Yeah. So I really hate to be this person. Look, I know it's probably scary that machines are coming in and just taking your job. But honestly, money's really tight right now. I mean, if I want to just do that instead of getting haircuts, what's the harm? Listen, you can do what you want. Like, if you truly want to just keep doing that, I mean, by all means, I'm not going to stop you. But I am going to let you know, because it's my job to, that is not solving your split end problem. How? It's literally called a split end trimmer. I know, and it can lessen the appearance of split ends throughout your hair. However, it's not going to stop them from splitting all the way up to the top and the hair falling out. That happens. Yeah, that's what split ends do. They start all the way at the bottom, and they just keep breaking until they go all the way to the top, and then that piece of hair just falls out of the follicle. Oh, how do you stop that from happening? By cutting them off at the very ends when they first start. Once they're this high in your hair, there's no saving that unless you were to cut your hair up to there. Oh, that's the reason that stylists say that regular trims are important, because you want to catch those split ends before they break all the way up to the top. You want to catch them when they're still on the ends so you can cut them off, and then that'll stop them from splitting all the way up. Wow. That I did not know. I mean, I thought that you could just run that over your hair and then it would just take care of everything. Yeah, and I mean, like I said, it can be good to lessen the appearance of split ends throughout your hair, especially if you do already have them in the mid-shaft. But it's not going to solve the problem. It doesn't replace haircuts. It's more of just a temporary thing. Oh, so machines aren't taking your job. No. Those definitely don't do what a haircut does. Especially if your split ends are already too far out. So I'm always so confused on what services I'm supposed to wash my hair before and which ones I'm not. Oh, like in what context? Like, I know that before you get your hair colored, you're supposed to like not wash your hair, but then I heard from somewhere else that if you're getting highlights, you should. Okay, but then somebody told me not to wash my hair before getting a haircut because it's going to get washed anyway, but then somebody else told me that you're supposed to wash it before it perm. So I would always say that your best bet is to come to a salon with clean and dry hair, regardless of the service that you're getting done. Okay, but color takes better on dirty hair. It doesn't. That's very much a myth, actually. As a matter of fact, color can actually take worse if it has more product and build up to get through. Oh. Yeah, I mean, you're always bound to get the best results if you just show up to the salon with clean, dry hair. Even for haircuts, it's going to get washed anyway. Yeah, even for haircuts, because it's really important for us to be able to see your hair during the consultation, exactly how it lays without a bunch of oil in it. Wow. Okay, that's really good to know. I just haven't been washing my hair before, like, almost anything. Yep, clean, dry hair. Best way to go. Trust me, your hairdresser appreciates it. So you graduated beauty school and you're at a salon now, right? I am, and it's not going well. Why? I just feel like I'm not building any clientele. Building a clientele can take a hell of a long time. How long did it take you? I built a vast majority of my clientele within my first 2 years, but I worked like 50, 60-hour work weeks. I was nuts. Yeah, I don't have time to do that. Yeah, it can take a while. I mean, the average amount of time that it takes to build a solid clientele is between 5 and 10 years. That's just so long. Yeah, but I personally think it's worth the wait. What are some tips that you have to building a clientele? Especially if...
and determine whether that should stay in sentence or not. What do we do now? Because obviously this escape statute really puts a wrench in the works.
a judge could say, I don't have to resentence you at all because of what the statute says. The way that the Department of Corrections is looking at it is he's been convicted of escape, and so he's not eligible for any type of